What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Fleaflicker NFL Show. I'm your host, Reed Umar, and after like 3 months, I'm finally joined by my co-host, Amal Ronak. What's up, Amal?
What's up, man? I mean, it's been a long time since I talked to you about football, man. I've been like very busy. I mean, now since this coronavirus thing,
It's been a
it's
long
easier to
time,
free up
dude.
time now. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been a long time. I can't wait to talk more about football for sure.
Yes, sir. It's literally been like 4 months, and I was really liking our football conversations the first 6 or 7 episodes we did this because we were doing it back to back, every week we're making sure we're doing it, and then
and we made sure we did it too.
Then I'm not gonna say the name. Well, actually, it doesn't matter because I'm not monetized on YouTube anyway. But the virus has shut down everything, so now we are doing a Zoom thing, and so far the Zoom thing is working pretty well. I mean, you can see my screen, the audio it automatically records, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, I can see everything. Yep, we're all good.
So yeah, we're doing a mock draft today, and for those of you who don't know, the 2020 NFL draft has not been postponed. It's not being held in Las Vegas anymore, so I'm guessing they're gonna do some weird online thing. I was low-key kind of hoping someone would fall off in the fountain, in the Bellagio Hotel out there in Vegas, during the draft. That would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been hysterical, dude. Just someone the first Joe Burrow just flops in the water for some reason, he just falls off the boat, or you get one of these big defensive linemen, just boom, falls right off.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. Do you know has it come out what they're doing? Because it'd be weird if it's a Zoom call for the draft.
They said it'll be all remote, right? I think that's
I know it's all remote, but it's interesting to see how they're gonna broadcast it.
Yeah, I mean, Schefter just tweeted I think 20 minutes ago, high-level officials from multiple NFL teams are now preparing to do the draft virtually from home, away from their team facilities.
I also heard that President Trump was going to meet with literally all the sports commissioners. I saw Roger Goodell on that list. I saw, who else did I see? It was
Did you see Dana White? Because apparently he's trying to host a UFC fight still. That's going to be interesting if he does.
That's going to be sus. Doubt that's going to work.
I doubt that's going to work, yeah. He's trying to host it April 18th. So I doubt it'll work. But there's no other place you can do it other than the U.S. The U.S., I doubt you can even do it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So want to just hop right into it?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So the first overall pick, everyone knows the Cincinnati Bengals have this pick. And let's just talk about a few potential scenarios. This is going to be no trades for this draft just because trades are so hard to predict. And, who knows, maybe the Dolphins do trade up with the Bengals, some of the reports are saying, and it messes up their entire mock draft. So we're just not going to do trades.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. There's only really one player. There's 2 players for me here. But there's one clear choice and one that would be why are you doing that? A more risky selection. So I got Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa. Those are the 2 players you have, or just Joe Burrow?
Those are the. I have Joe Burrow, but I think the Bengals are still probably testing out the waters on Tua.
Yeah, I think I've heard reports that Tua Tagovailoa is the 3rd or even the 4th quarterback, which makes no sense. Justin Herbert and Jordan Love are nowhere near the prospect that Tua is, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
So just pros and cons. I feel like Joe Burrow had the best season ever by any college player, quarterback, literally ever. He had 60 touchdowns and 8 picks, won the Heisman, won the national championship. Tua, I think, is a better prospect, as in he's done it for longer. He's been more successful for longer, but he also has question marks his health, his obviously with the whole virus going along, you can't do physicals on these players anymore, which is one of the reasons I'm hearing players like Tua are dropping in the draft, because you don't know how he's doing medically. But I think
I saw a report that some NFL teams, they're not even valuing him as a QB3 or QB4 because of the health scares, and that on top of that, he's an Alabama QB, And
Yeah, lots of
in
people were saying he's a system of like Nick Saban and the Alabama.
and in recent years, Alabama QBs have been trash in the NFL.
I mean, who's the most notable?
AJ McCarron's the most
AJ
notable.
McCarron was who I was thinking as well.
Yeah, AJ McCarron's not. He's trash. He's a backup quarterback. So yeah.
But you have no qualms with me choosing Joe Burrow here though, right? Like
Yeah,
he's
no. He's clear cut number one. I think even if there is a trade, he's number one. So I think he's definitely going to be number one.
awesome. So blocking the first pick. So going on to like the second pick, there's some intrigue here because the Redskins are they have a new head coach, Ron Rivera. He just came in. I think that's a great signing for them as well. I think Riverboat Ron's going to come in and he's going to change that culture. He's going to be a very good addition. And they got rid of Bruce Allen, who was just a major clown for that organization for like 10 years. So, and they gave old head that power to Riverboat Ron. So I think that was a good move. And I feel like Chase Young is the best player in the draft here, the edge rusher from Ohio State. Would you agree with me?
Yes, I agree. He's the best player in the draft, hands down.
Dude, I've seen some of his tape, and it's ridiculous. Like, he just needs to learn when to use some of his moves because sometimes he would just, like, use the same speed rush, like, multiple reps in a row. And, like, if he switched it up just a little bit, he could literally, like, get so many sacks. Like, I was watching him play against Penn State, and he literally did the same exact move, like, 4 or 5, like, I don't know how many times in a row. And it was working a lot of the time. But if you had switched it up, he could have completely steamrolled whoever the offensive tackle was. He's a freak.
Yeah, he is a freak. Yeah, Chase Young definitely number 2 though.
Is anyone else you think who could go here?
QB is the second best option for them, but Chase Young is generational talent. I think or I'll put it this way, he's a guaranteed star. I think I was listening to Mel Kiper. You graded him at it was Todd McShay. Todd McShay graded him at a 95, which is basically superstardom, like guaranteed superstardom. And like in the past 5 years, he's only given that to like Bradley Chubb, Myles Garrett.
Probably Myles Garrett. Yeah, Myles Garrett.
Yeah, and Myles Garrett is like a beast.
I think Chase Young is a better prospect than Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa. I think he's right up there with Myles Garrett, I think.
Yeah, he's up there with Myles Garrett. Yeah, and Nick Bosa's nuts. Oh my God.
Nick Bosa both the Bosa brothers are nuts. I think Joey has been kind of left out a little bit just because his brother literally just made a Super Bowl. And he's more flashy, but they're both very elite players.
They're both elite, and Nick Bosa was a rookie last year.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Crazy.
It's going to be fun to see what he does.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see Joey leave LA, even though LA, I don't know if you've seen some of the free agency moves they've made, but there's one player I really want them to pick. It's not going to happen most likely, but if they picked him, that defense would legitimately be probably top 3 in the NFL.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that at number 6. So 2,
Chase Young, right? For sure.
3, the Lions. This is an interesting pick here because there's multiple reports saying that they could go Tua, they could go Okudah, they could go Simmons, even though it wouldn't make sense to go Simmons. But I think Okudah is the best fit considering they just lost Darius Slay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if you look at all the moves the Lions have done, they're literally bringing in every former Patriots player. Last offseason, they brought in Trey Flowers. This offseason, they're bringing in Deron Harmon, and I can't even there's just so many Patriots players going to that team. And if you look at it, the only position that Bill Belichick, head coach of the Patriots, has ever really paid for was that cornerback spot with Stephon Gilmore. He's the only player he's ever paid big money to. And I think without Stephon Gilmore, that defense doesn't work. They're not getting the same amount of pressure as they were getting, but the fact is he can lock down an entire side of the field. He can lock down an entire option for that offense. And if you're trying to really mimic that, which is what I think that bearded guy down there, what's his face? Dude, I'm forgetting his name. Head coach. and the Lions.
Patricia.
Yes, Matt Patricia. Oh, that was so bad. I think if you want to mimic that, you got to go with Jeff Okudah here from Ohio State.
Yeah, I think the secondary pick, if they don't pick Okudah, I think it could be I think it could be Derrick Brown, considering they do need an interior defensive lineman. But I think Okudah's the pick here, and I would be shocked if they pick Tua to replace Matthew Stafford in the future. I think
I would be shocked as well, just because I think Matt Stafford is probably one injury away from like retiring, being one of those like surprise early retirements. But
yeah,
he's also like an Iron Man, and he's also like a great QB, and he's just been on like a crappy Lions team his entire career.
Also, if I were the Lions here, I also, even though Okudah is great and all, I think the best option obviously here is to trade down, because I think, like I said, I think Derrick Brown is there, and he's also a good fit. Obviously, Okudah is a better fit, but Derrick Brown could probably get at like where the Chargers are or the Dolphins are at 5 or 6. So,
I mean, also I think there's going to be a surprise team looking for a QB. Like they're going to try to trade up.
Kind of like Mahomes. Mahomes to the Chiefs. Chiefs, I never thought. I'll be honest. I never thought that they would trade up to get Mahomes, because
that wasn't even like in consideration. Like I was like, when I saw that during the draft day trades, I was in shock. I was like, wait, why are they trading up?
Exactly. It just happens. It's absolutely nuts. But yeah, I think no, assuming no trades, 3 Okudah. I agree.
Okay, 4. This is where I think we were like DMing the other day, and we had some thoughts about the Giants pick here.
Yeah. So my opinion, I think they take Isaiah Simmons, the offensive linebacker. I mean, the outside linebacker.
The offensive linebacker, yeah.
Outside linebacker from Clemson, yeah. I think this would make sense here, but I think also at offensive tackle, I think you were talking about that also helps. But they're in like very big need of defense, and he's the most versatile defender probably in the draft.
So I heard this. He's played over 100 snaps at 5 different positions, and from my like understanding, he's not like an elite player at all of them, but he's like a hybrid player. And if he gets to learn, like just put him maybe at like middle linebacker, put him at like, I think middle linebacker is probably the best place to play him, just because he has that 4.439 speed, which it's crazy. He's faster than Saquon. He's like 6'4". He can match up against tight ends. He can match up against running backs. Like one play, he's like lining up like on the line, like as an outside linebacker, getting ready to rush. And the next play, he's like lining up as like a safety, like 25 yards down the field. It's kind of funny.
It's kind of
My thing here though is you drafted a quarterback, and he's fumbled a ton. The only person who's fumbled more than Daniel Jones is probably Jameis Winston and maybe Carson Wentz. But other than that, it's not close. It's Daniel Jones is like second place, first place locked in for fumbles. Also, your offensive line is trash. You overpaid Nate Solder. He hasn't been good. Eric Flowers is a bust, and he's now not even on your team. I think he's on the Redskins, play offensive guard. And left tackle is probably the most important position. And if you want to protect your franchise, I think the best way to go is to go with that pass protecting option. Just because, like, if you look at a quarterback like look at Mahomes, he has like he has like Mitchell Schwartz, and he has Eric Fisher. He has elite offensive line talent in front of him. Carson Wentz, he's had Jason Peters protecting his blind side for 3-4 years now. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that? I think left tackle is just a more important position than linebacker.
So you're going with Tristan Wirfs, or are you going with Andrew Thomas?
See, I think Jedrick Wills is the best tackle for in the draft. He's
Jedrick Wills. Interesting.
Yeah, he's mocked at 11th overall right now. But
I have Andrew Thomas as my best.
Okay.
Wirfs at second, and then Jedrick Wills at 3. But they're all like
right there. And I think people are also forgetting about Mekhi Becton. I think he's slightly overrated because he ran like a 4.8 or whatever at the combine, and people were like, "Oh, he's a freak," but he's not going to really be running straight he's never not gonna be wearing pads. He's never gonna be running in a straight line. So I think that's slightly overrated. But to be honest, I think all four of these tackles are good picks. I just think Jedrick Wills is the safest pick. So who's your first one? Andrew Thomas? We can go that if you want.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my original was.
Oh,
Simmons,
yeah, Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, because here's the thing, right? Even though they need an offense, their defense sucks, bro. They need so much help on defense.
See, I think they invested a lot on that defense in the free agency. They got James Bradbury. I think Joe Judge is going to come in, and I think the reason I could see Isaiah Simmons going there is just because he's a new head coach, and you don't know whether or not he's going to prioritize linebackers. Like some teams, like in the recent history, the Giants haven't really prioritized linebacker, and they haven't been that good. But other teams like the Eagles, they don't really prioritize linebacker, and they're like fine with it. But Joe Judge, he's coming from a team where they had Jamie Collins, they have Dante Hightower, so I could see that happening actually.
Yeah.
So
fair
Isaiah
enough.
Simmons here or Andrew Thomas?
We'll go Isaiah Simmons. I'm confident they'll pick. I'm also confident because the Giants are also like heavily interested in him.
Yeah, there was a report I just saw today on Instagram.
Yeah, but I think logically, I mean, they can't go wrong with either pick either. I'll be honest, they probably can't because they need they need O linemen. They also need help on defense. So I mean, I think they'll be fine regardless. So 5, we have the Miami Dolphins. So this one is where it'll also be interesting. They could go here Tua. They could go here Justin Herbert. I think those are the only 2 options I have actually. I don't have.
I don't think anyone else is worth it at this point.
I don't have any other options. I could even see the Dolphins trading up for Tua, but I think that stays as planned.
So I think Tua is, like I said before, I think he's probably the best prospect. Like as in a peak wise, I feel like he can run around, he can extend plays. The way he like reads defenses is kind of cool. And if Joe Burrow didn't have literally the best season ever, I think Tua would be a lock. Like if you remember, like 1 or 2 years ago when he came in for that national championship game, everyone was like, "Dude, this guy has like the potential to be the first overall pick." And even not this last season, but 2 seasons previous when he played his first like full season, everyone was like, "Oh, he's a lock." Like what people are saying for like Trevor Lawrence right now. And I think he's almost underrated. I don't know if you agree with me or not. Agree with me.
I think he is. So I think he's a good value for 5. And I'll tell you why, because his peak, I think like you said here, his peak is higher than Joe Burrow's. If he's completely healthy, I think he could be the best quarterback out of this class.
I also think Miami is probably the best fit for him just because you have Ryan Fitzpatrick there. And so even if he isn't completely healthy, and you can't know that until you get him in the building, and who knows when that's going to happen. But even he doesn't have to play because you have Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick played really well for a lot of the time he played for that team. So
yeah, I agree.
You're not forcing him in. He can learn the playbook. And also something teams are like, or at least people I've heard, they're underrating. The fact is that there's no OTAs. There's no sort of like, training camp. And I was listening to a story about I think it was Colt McCoy. And I think he was drafted to the Browns, I want to say, right? And his first offseason, it was like the lockout, so like 2011 or whatever it was. So that was like an interrupted offseason. And because of that, he wasn't really able to learn the offense. He didn't have training camp or whatever. And because of that, he kind of sucked. And I think the worst thing you want to do is if you're a new QB, if you're a team starting a rookie QB, is push them immediately just because of that no offseason look.
Yeah, and also I think the Dolphins were entirely planning, I think even last season, they were planning to tank for Tua. I don't think like Burrow came out of nowhere, so they never expected this. So, I mean, I think they'll be happy with the quarterback they get at 5. assuming no trades. So yeah, 5 Tua Tagovailoa.
6. So this is where I was interested. You took him at 4, Isaiah Simmons. But I think if you really wanted to make this defense like super interesting, add in Isaiah Simmons with Derwin James. I think that would be legitimately like a match made in heaven.
Okay, fair enough. So 6 here. I think I have Justin Herbert. But here's the thing, right? I like Justin Herbert, but I think we talked about it earlier. I think we were texting, and you're talking about all like the mishaps that he makes on the field, and like he's like sometimes just completely careless. But I mean, he has the potential to be Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I think that's his peak right there.
Yeah, and playing like Carson Wentz it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's good. I think this is a safe pick. But here's the thing, right? I think Cam Newton's on the market right now, so I could see the Chargers taking in Cam Newton, and then they have Cam Newton and Tyrod Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
So if that happens, I'd see Andrew Thomas at 6, the offensive tackle, because I think they need O-line help, and they right now lost Melvin Gordon, so they need even more O-line help. And I think Andrew Thomas would be a logical fit. But I think in all realistic scenarios, I think Justin Herbert will go number 6.
I mean, I think he's just going to go there. Even if he's not the best player, he's a quarterback. So he's going to get picked early.
Yeah, I think.
And also, Tyrod's their starting quarterback, Tyrod Taylor. And not that good.
Yeah. He's a solid backup. I'll put it there. Yeah.
Okay, Justin Herbert. So we're going to the Panthers now.
Yeah.
My dream pick for the Panthers would also be Isaiah Simmons. That just shows you how good Isaiah Simmons is. Just because I think you lost Luke Kuechly. Matt Rule, the new head coach, is coming in. He's going to restart. And the thing about Isaiah Simmons is he's so versatile, and you're reworking that entire defensive scheme. Like for a team let's just say he goes to like the Chargers. Anthony Lynn has been there for a while. He's probably not going to rework his entire defense to add in some hybrid do-it-all player like the Swiss Army knife. It's going to be difficult versus like the Panthers or like the Giants where they're reworking their defense and they're changing their scheme around. You could easily add him in and make him a centerpiece of that defense. But if we're talking about like logical players, Derrick Brown is my pick here for sure. The defensive lineman from Auburn.
I agree. I'm in 100% agreement with you there. I think Derrick Brown makes the most sense here because they need that defensive front to be stacked up, and I think Brown could ripple some effects from that. And I think if they don't pick Derrick Brown here, I think an offensive tackle could also help. So, yeah, Andrew Thomas, Tristan Wirfs, Mekhi Becton, Jedrick Willis, any of those 4, I think you could also see at number 7. But, yeah, I'm with you.
I was watching Derrick Brown for him, and he really reminds me of Fletcher Cox, where he wasn't really getting a ton of, like, sacks, but there was plays I'm seeing him getting triple teamed, and I was like, dude, this guy's a monster.
Yeah, he's insane.
So Derrick Brown there.
He had a very disappointing combine, though. I don't know if you saw that. His combine was impressive.
I'm just gonna chalk that up to nerves and the fact that the combine is so overrated. I'd rather watch your film and know that this guy can get separation, this guy can bulldoze people over, than he ran a slow 40 time or 3 cone.
So
you go.
Yeah. So wait. Yeah. You can finish it. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I'm a bit sus about the combine just because last year I was like, DK Metcalf had like a terrible 3 cone or whatever. He can't turn. He's gonna be a bust. And then he went to Seattle and he popped off, and he's gonna be a beast this season. So my entire combine takes are just I don't value the combine that much anymore. So number 8,
8.
Seven.
Okay, so 8 is the Arizona Cardinals. Locked in here, they'll get an offensive lineman. Guaranteed. Whether it's Tristan Wirfs, Andrew Thomas, Mekhi Becton, Jedrick Willis, I don't really care. I think Jedrick Willis is the best offensive lineman. Like, I think you did say that. You hit the nail on the head when you said that he is the best. But the thing is, I can see here Andrew Thomas, but I mean, that's just my preference. But there's not much difference, so I don't really care.
Honestly, like the draft rankings are kind of interesting. If you see this, they're 4 tackles back to back, and that just shows you how like stacked like the top. I think the top 15 picks for tackles is going to be insane. You're just going to see all 4 of these guys go, and I don't think I've ever seen a draft where you have like 4 tackles go in the top like 13 or 14 or whatever it's going to be. But
I'm being dead honest. You can even see a tackle 8, 9, 10.
yeah, I could see a tackle. No, I think I could definitely see tackle going 10, 11, like for sure. Maybe even 9. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go.
Your preference, you can pick the tackle. I don't really care.
Okay, I just think Jedrick Wills is the best, so we can go with him.
I mean, he is the best. I'll agree with that. But yeah, it doesn't matter. 9, I have them getting an offensive tackle. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they'll get an offensive tackle, even though I can kind of see.
I could see C.J. Henderson, their cornerback from Florida, going there just because they need to restack there at that cornerback position after losing A.J. Boye.
That's kind of high for C.J. Henderson, though. They would trade down, I think, to get him. I think that's high, though, don't you think? C.J. Henderson.
I really like C.J. Henderson, dude. I think he's right behind. If Jeff Okudah wasn't there, he would be by far, in a way, the first corner on the board. And just because of Jeff Okudah, he's not being talked about. But I think corner is very much a pick here for them. And C.J. Henderson's the best one on the board for me.
All right. I think, yeah, I mean, I'm going to say O-line because they could, I don't know. I think they need offensive line help. That's the main thing because they have Gardner Minshew at QB and Fournette at running back. And they used to have a really good O-line, and I don't know where that went. So I think
what's wrong with their O-line currently? Because I honestly don't remember any of their starters.
So, I mean, it's kind of interesting. So they have Cam Robinson, I believe, at O-line. They have Andrew Norwell, Brandon Linder, AJ Can, I think, and Jawan Taylor. Some okay names. I think Jawan Taylor is probably the worst one on the list, but I think they need an offensive, and he's an offensive tackle, and I think they need help with an offensive tackle. I think they can solidify that offensive tackle spot, and I think they could pick Mekhi Becton or Andrew Thomas here.
Okay.
But
so if I'm ranking needs, I think it's corner and then offensive lineman. But honestly, I don't know.
I agree with you there.
What do you want to do here, then?
Offensive tackle is oh, that's tough.
Just because I think you want to reset, just because you lost 2 stud corners in Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye in like one offseason, and I feel like
they would trade down though for Henderson, right? Because Henderson isn't a need on 10, 11, 12. 10, 11,
I don't
12.
know, man. I'm a big believer of like, if you think he's gonna be gone by your when you trade, because like they have a pick at 20, right? I think C.J. Henderson's gonna be gone at 20.
Oh, he'll be gone by then. He's top 20 pick for sure. I think,
which is why I think you pick him now.
He'll be gone by the Dallas pick for sure.
I think he probably ends up going to Dallas, to be honest.
Yeah.
Him or someone else. So, offensive line or C.J. Henderson, which one you want?
I think realistically, I think they go offensive line. I don't.
Okay.
There's too many good offensive linemen here. That's why I'm saying you can pick the offensive lineman. I think Tristan Wirfs or Andrew Thomas. I don't care.
Okay, we'll go Tristan Wirfs. So
Here,
Cleveland,
Cleveland, they take the next best offensive tackle.
Andrew Thomas. I think they're in need for 2 tackles after Joe Thomas retired. So might as well get another Thomas here, Andrew Thomas.
Yep, cool with me.
I don't think we really need to talk about it much. I think they're missing. They needed help at both tackles, and they got one in. Who did they sign from Tennessee? Dude, I'm forgetting his name, but they signed that guy from Tennessee. He was making pretty good money, and he's like a really good run blocker. And just
Jack
solidifying.
Conklin.
Yes, Jack Conklin.
Yeah, he's good.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then now you get another tackle, and you could pretty much solidify your offensive line for at least the next like 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So no question
He's
here.
not going to bust. Yeah. I think Levin's going to be interesting. So Levin, their biggest need is offensive tackle. That would be crazy if there was 4 offensive tackles in a row. But I don't see that happening. I think right here they take the best wide receiver on the board. And that, in my opinion, is Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of Alabama, because they just lost Robbie Anderson. Jerry can immediately be Sam Darnold's wide receiver 1. I think that would fire up Sam Darnold, and hopefully that can reignite the Jets back to their Mark Sanchez days and back to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I originally had offensive tackle, but the more I've thought about it, I'm like, they might need a wide receiver. I think CeeDee Lamb's probably the best wide receiver in this draft, but they're pretty much 1A, 1B. So we can go with Jerry Jeudy here. I don't really see any problems with that. They can pull a Atlanta Falcons and pair a young quarterback with a stud wide receiver early, and you see how far that's taken them with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. They almost won a Super Bowl, so no problems for me here with Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, and he's guaranteed. I highly doubt he's going to bust. I highly doubt it.
I think he's probably the best route runner in this draft. So like, if he
people are saying he's like a locked in. He could be the next Julio Jones, like just straight up.
Mm-hmm. Now both of those players are CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy are studs, and honestly, right now I would trade up if I was the Eagles and draft CeeDee Lamb, but that's probably not going to happen.
All right, so 12 is the Raiders. I think they take CeeDee Lamb here.
Yeah,
Agreed?
I agree. Mm-hmm.
So I think here's the thing, right? So we both have, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb. So I think you have CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy. I think it'll go.
It's interchangeable, yeah.
I think to be fair, they'll both be great wide receivers. So 13, the Niners pick here. So here they could go multiple different ways. They could go here, C.J. Henderson from Florida, or they could even go Henry Ruggs here from Alabama, because they did just lose Emmanuel Sanders to the Saints. And I think here they'll take Ruggs. I think they meant to take Ruggs also because with the trade with the Colts, I think they wanted to solidify the wide receiver position. So
yeah, I mean, all the reports are saying that as well. So
I think they'll take Henry Ruggs here, but C.J. Henderson's a damn good pick here too.
Yeah. They also are picking at pick 31, and there's a couple names back there. Players like Trevon Diggs and Noah Igbinoghene. I can't say his name, but the guy from Auburn. He's a very good corner as well. So I think
there's better value for corners. Yeah.
Yeah, there's better value at corner later on. So I think Henry Ruggs here, the fastest player in the draft. No, okay, for a second I thought I accidentally picked C.J. Henderson as well. Okay, wait, my computer. Give me 2 seconds right now. Dude, what is going on? Okay, we're good. So Henry Ruggs there. We had a run of wide receivers. Now we're all the way down at Tampa Bay. I think for them, this is a dream pick to get McKee back then, the last of the 4 great offensive linemen.
I'm with you again, 100%. I think, all right, it doesn't, even if it's not McKee Becton, I think it's one of the 4 remaining. One of the top 5?
Yeah.
Is it 4 or 5?
It's 4. There's also Josh Jones. I think he's from Houston down here. He's another player, but I think it's these top 4 for sure, and then a little gap, and then Josh.
The remaining of the top 4 will go to Tampa Bay. I can't see the top 4 going outside the Tampa Bay pick. Yeah. All right,
Okay,
cool.
so right here, we have Denver.
Yeah,
Right now, they're probably steaming that Henry Ruggs went at 13, 2 picks before
yeah,
them.
yes.
They lost. They traded away Aqib Talib last offseason or midseason or whatever. They lost their corner. Dude, I'm having such a bad time with names today. uh, Chris Harris, they lost him. They traded. He went to a division opponent in the LA Chargers. They lost Bradley Roby like 2 off seasons ago. So that big three that they had during the no-fly zone 2015 Super Bowl run is gone. I think they got to reset with here, and the fact that C.J. Henderson fell right into their laps. I don't think there's a wide receiver worth taking this high when you have C.J. Henderson on the board. You can correct me with that, but just my take.
You have CJ Henderson at 15. All right, so here's my pick, right? So in my opinion, they need a linebacker. So
Okay.
my pick here would be Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma.
Kenneth Murray. Okay. Him and Patrick Queen from LSU were like eye and eye for me. So I can see either of them going here. I don't know. I've never thought about linebacker for this team actually. I always just thought wide receiver and corner, but
because he's a linebacker that he can blitz and just as well as getting out of coverage. I think I don't know. This is tough because in my opinion, Ruggs would have been the perfect fit here, but he's gone he's gone to the Niners. So
yeah, I agree. I think Ruggs for sure is the biggest. I think Ruggs would be a great thing to see in San
Denver.
Francisco.
Oh,
But
and
it would also be fun to see Drew Lock, who he has a pretty big arm. If he could air it out to someone like that, that would be fun to see.
yeah, that'd be nice. I think
I think yeah, we can go linebacker here. I don't really have a problem with that. So Kenneth Murray or Patrick Queen? You said Murray, right?
okay. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Kenneth Murray. Here, for the Atlanta Falcons, I have Caleb Chason, the outside linebacker from LSU, going there. I could also see C.J. Henderson going there as well.
So I also can see here Javon Kinlaw also going there.
Yeah, he was my other pick as well when I was doing mock draft
So
beforehand.
I think the top 3 players on the board, either of those 3 can go. We'll go with Clavon Chason.
My only problem with the Caleb Chason pick is that I think he's more of a 3-4 outside linebacker, and Atlanta runs like a 4-3, so that would be interesting to see where you'd put him. But I think he's more of a pass rusher, so I think he's probably a better pick here after they lost after Vic Beasley pretty much turned out into a bust and they let him go this offseason. I think defensive line is probably the biggest priority for that team.
Yeah.
So America's most hated team, the Dallas Cowboys. Right here, Henderson, or for me, it's Xavier McKinney, one of those two. I think just because I think Henderson's a better player than Xavier McKinney. And they lost Byron Jones. That secondary is kind of ill right now. For the fact is that they lost Jeff Heath as well, I believe. He was their longtime strong safety, which is the only reason why Xavier McKinney is he's probably my dream scenario if I'm a Cowboys fan. But C.J. Henderson's a better player than Xavier McKinney. Your takes?
I think I agree with you. I think Henderson at 17 is steal. So, yeah, I agree. Let's go there.
So going on to here for the Miami Dolphins. Again, they're second of 3 picks in the first round. Here I could go.
You can go Kinlaw here. You can go maybe Austin Jackson, the offensive tackle.
I could see Grant Delpit as well. I think Rashad Jones has gotten older. Grant Delpit fits that mold of they lost Minka Fitzpatrick. They traded him away during the
Think
season
their
last year.
biggest need now after they pick QB is offensive lineman, right?
And I think they can get a quality offensive lineman at pick 26.
Oh
And
yeah,
you're not going to get a player like Grant Delpit or Xavier McKinney or even Javon Kinlaw there.
I think Javon Kinlaw then would probably make the best sense here.
Okay.
Because he's the best player. I think he's the best player on the board too.
Yeah, I think if you're going best player available, which is what Miami should be doing at this point.
He's a need for sure. So
yeah, I think interior pass rusher. They drafted see, actually, I don't think that's a great pick just because they drafted Christian Wilkins last year, the guy from Clemson. So
he's a
I think
DT though. He's a DT. Yeah, I guess. I mean, but that would be like a stud.
you could get Rashad Jones' replacement here, the longtime safety here, with either Grant Delpit or Xavier McKinney.
He's a beast though.
We can
That's
go.
tough.
Yeah, just because I think Grant Delpit and Xavier McKinney can fill a bigger need than Javon Kinlaw, just because they drafted a stud last offseason. And Christian Wilkins was pretty good this season as well.
Yeah, that's true. All right, then what? Yeah, we'll go with your pick then. We'll go.
I think Grant Delpit, just because he's a better free safety, and Rashad Jones. To my knowledge, Rashad Jones plays free safety. I'm pretty sure that's what he plays.
Yeah, he does. I believe he does. Yeah.
So Grant Delpit here. Okay. We got Oakland at pick 19, their second pick, which they got from the Chicago Bears in the Khalil Mack trade.
So here, I think
we had them picking CeeDee Lamb first, right?
Yes. Here, I could see them picking Patrick Queen, the linebacker.
Ooh, I like that pick, actually.
I could also see them, though, picking Ross Blacklock from TCU.
Ooh, that's a name I haven't heard in a while, actually. Ross Blacklock. Where is he on here? Huh.
He's low.
Yeah, no, this thing has players. I'm pretty high on a couple players, and they have him low as well. Let me see. Dude, what? Okay, I can't buy.
He's go back up. Yeah, I think I saw him. Keep going down.
Oh, right here. Yeah, Ross Blacklock. Okay.
He's 30. Dang.
Okay, Javon Kinlaw as well.
Oh yeah, if Kinlaw's not there. Yeah. Okay, then yeah, that's probably the best sense. Yeah.
Kinlaw's probably the best pick here. If you're the Raiders, you got to go BPA, best player available. Javon Kinlaw is the best player available. So
great pick.
We'll go there. And if I am the Jaguars, I'm kind of mad just because CJ Henderson went 3 picks before you. But if you want to go corner, you can go Christian Fulton, Jeff Gladney. They're in that like that second tier for me.
I have Trevon Diggs at 20.
Trevon Diggs is also in that tier for me as well. Where is he? Trevon Diggs. Yeah, Trevon Diggs for Alabama. I like him as well. I can see all 3 of those guys, whichever one you like. All of them are.
Here's the thing. I think Fulton's better, but I think as a fit for the team, I think I could see. Trevon Diggs there, especially since they lost the Darqueze Dennard deal. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, I think that's a big need, and he's he's ready to make an impact. I think that's the right pick.
Trevon Diggs. Okay, let's hop right into it.
But you can't go wrong with any of the other
all 3 of them are like in the same range for me, so yeah, I have no problems with any of them. Finally, my Philadelphia Eagles. My pick here is Denzel Mims, the wide receiver from Baylor. I don't know what you think about that.
That's high. So I'm between here, Justin Jefferson. Oh, why? Jeez. Justin Jefferson and T. Higgins. I'm between those 2.
See, I think Denzel Mims is a better player than T. Higgins. I think we have a slot where Justin Jefferson plays mainly the slot in LSU, and he was a really good slot player, but we have Greg Ward there, and who was pretty good in the slot as well. And if we
You can
plug
get
in Justin,
you can get Denzel Mims though in the second. I don't see him as a first round pick though. I'm being dead serious. I can't. He's like a second round pick, isn't he? I don't see
he's like
many.
a late first to an early second. I think personally, if depending on who's there, he probably won't fall past Green Bay. I think he's fits that.
You think he goes first round?
Yeah, dude, I'm super high on Denzel Mims. He fits that number one wide receiver prototype. He's super fast. You can give him those nice screen passes. You can give him those
Here's
over
the
the
thing.
top balls.
I'm not super crazy on Denzel Mims. That's why.
Fair enough. I'm like really high on Denzel Mims.
But okay, we can guarantee that there's a wide receiver pick
Oh
here.
yeah, for sure. It's a wide receiver here. You said T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson.
In my opinion, Justin Jefferson's the best player on the board. But I mean, I'll put it this way. I think, I think Jefferson could help out Carson Wentz in a big way. But also I think T. Higgins would too. But I mean, hey, your call. You're the Eagles guy. I think you make this pick.
I gotta go Denzel Mims. I love him. I think, to be honest, for me, he was like going to be like the biggest steal of the draft. And like he was going to be that player like the DK Metcalfs or like the Michael Thomases, where he's going to end up falling like at the second or third round, and he's going to end up like balling out, and everyone's going to be like, why did he fall? So I just feel like instead of letting him fall there, I'd rather pick him up because that's just where I like him. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Denzel Mims, 21. And next one is the Vikings.
So I think
And
here you got to go corner, just because
they got
Xavier Rhodes is gone.
from the Buffalo Bills with the Diggs trade. I think they can go. I think they go Xavier McKinney here, the safety, pairing him up with Harrison Smith.
Okay,
he's the
that's
best.
An interesting
He's the best. He's the best secondary pick available, in my opinion. The best secondary player available. I think
I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah,
so
I'm high
that's
on
a surprise pick. I've never heard of Xavier McKinney to Minnesota.
He could be the replacement because I think Anthony Harris gets traded.
Okay, yeah. So this is like keying. Okay, that makes sense because I was about to say they have Anthony Harris already there. I don't think they would pick him. But if you're like, what
also,
is like
in my complete honest opinion, I think Xavier McKinney is the best safety of the draft.
I think for me, I have him. Depending on your needs, I think he's the best safety. Like if you're a team like for me, in my opinion, like a team like the Cowboys, you want to go Xavier McKinney. Just because you're missing a strong safety. So yeah, actually, I'm seeing reports now because I was not aware of Anthony Harris. Probably a few weeks ago, there was reports that he was being traded to Cleveland. Like they're working on a trade.
I think he's definitely. I think he'll be gone.
Okay,
whether after the draft or before the draft, I think he'll be gone.
And I have no problems with Xavier McKinney here at all. Then.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident he doesn't get he gets traded.
He got franchise tagged, correct?
Yes, he did get tagged. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Xavier McKinney to Minnesota, surprise pick that I didn't see coming. Now we're going to the evil empire themselves, New England.
So here, this is a dream for them. I think they never needed to trade up in this optimistic situation, and I think this is a steal at 23. They'll get Jordan Love here, I think, at 23.
Yeah, I'm not going to even talk about it. That's a really good pick.
Steal. I highly doubt he goes at 23. He'll definitely go higher.
I think someone's going to trade up for him, probably around. Honestly, I could see someone trading up for him in the top 12.
Yeah, it would be stupid if he doesn't go top 12. He's very talented. It just so happens none of the teams above him are in that desperate need of a QB. So I think.
What are your dream fits for him other than like New England? I think I really like him with the Saints. If the Saints traded up and picked him, which I could see that happening, that would be.
Yeah, but they have so much faith in that bum Taysom Hill.
Dude, I think it's a smokescreen. There's no way. He's like 31 almost.
Dude, did you see the tag they put on him? They put like the second.
First
It
round.
was a first round. What? What?
Yeah.
That's insane. I would never pay a first round pick for a backup quarterback. No, that's nuts. But yeah, Jordan Love, I think 23 makes the most sense. And it'd be stupid if the Patriots didn't pick him and he was there. So
Dude,
24.
I would kind of like to see Jordan Love in Green Bay.
Shut up. I think Rodgers is gonna play though for quite
I
some
think
time.
Rodgers is gonna play for like 3 to 4 years probably. So like it wouldn't be a smart pick right now, but it would be funny to see like a repeat of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers happening again. And I think the best player he could possibly learn from is Aaron Rodgers. Whether or not Aaron Rodgers is gonna be a good teacher is like a whole nother thing, but I think he's probably the best player for a player like Jordan Love to learn from. So
Yeah,
that's
I
probably
agree.
my dream pick. Here, I have Patrick Queen going here. I have Patrick Queen as the best linebacker over Kenneth Murray. And Kenneth Murray went a few picks earlier to the Broncos, and
But I can also see here.
Who are you thinking here?
So I can see Patrick Queen here, and I could also see here. I can see Christian Fulton here too. Patrick Queen and Christian Fulton are my top two.
Yeah, I think Patrick Queen is probably a better player than Christian Fulton, so I'd go there. And also,
I like Patrick Queen as well at New Orleans. So I'm
I
with you.
can't really name any of the linebackers down there. I think they have Manti Te'o. They have that weird Anzalone guy, the guy who looks like Thor, like he got all like the hair going everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? I think Patrick Queen's probably the best player here, and they need a linebacker.
They have
And
Kiko Alonso and Demario Davis though. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think I'm with you. Yeah. The
okay,
Saints should
so
have pursued Jamie Collins. That's what they missed out on.
yeah, the Saints definitely should have gone for Jamie Collins, in my opinion. I mean, there were so many good linebackers they probably could have tried to go after, and they didn't really go after any of them. But that's beside the
Yeah.
point. 25, the Vikings' second pick here.
25. So I'm also here between Jefferson and Higgins again at 25.
Okay. So they have. Okay, so they got Adam Thielen. He's more. If you're
They have
like,
their number 2 wide receivers, Olabisi Johnson, by the way.
yeah, no, they got to go a wide receiver in this draft for sure. Where's T Higgins on here? Let's see. Oh, he's down here at 42. He should not be ranked at 42.
I
By
think
the
they'll go
way,
Justin.
you think they go
Shouldn't be.
Justin Jefferson?
I think they go Justin. I mean, but I think they can't go wrong without a pick.
I think
But,
Justin Jefferson fits them a little bit more. So yeah, I could
yeah.
also see them going like Jeff Gladney or Christian Fulton here.
Ooh, not a bad pick. I like those picks as well. But yeah, I think they go. I would be surprised if they didn't go. Because I mean, Justin Jefferson is also he ran a 4.43. That's fast.
See, my only qualms about wide receiver right here is just because if you're looking at like the wide receiver position as a whole, it's a deeper, like it's probably people are calling it like the deepest wide receiver class of all time. And if you look at the corners on the board right now, and if you look at like I'm just trying to pull it up right now, the Minnesota Vikings draft picks. I don't know what their second round draft pick looks like, and that would really impact my like who I would take here.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. Let me just pull this up. They have the 58th overall pick, so that's the late second round. So I think Justin Jefferson's probably the better pick here, to be honest. I think he's a better player than Jeff Gladney or Christian Fulton, and even though it's a deeper wide receiver
Yeah.
class,
I think Justin.
yeah, I think I like Justin Jefferson here.
Yeah, I'm with you. So now we have the Miami Dolphins pick here. So the Dolphins here, I think
I
they
kind
go.
of want them. They drafted Jordan Howard, right? I mean, they picked up Jordan Howard from free agency for the Eagles, correct?
Yeah, but he's not like super strong. Or I think they go DeAndre Swift here. I would
Yeah,
be
he's
shocked
been my longtime pick here as well.
because it's a must pick because he's also the best back available in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's between him or Jonathan Taylor. Um, and just because I think Jordan Howard, he can be that like number one running back, but if you have him and DeAndre Swift going 50-50 for carries, I don't see a problem with that at all. And maybe even give Howard more, like 60-40 or whatever it is. But giving DeAndre Swift those touches, he's an electric back, and I think it's a really good thing you could add. You could have a good backfield with your franchise quarterback in Tua. So DeAndre Swift here is no problem for me at all.
All right, so the next pick is Seattle Seahawks at 27. So here I have the guy that you're clicked on, Yetur Grossman.
Yeah. I was just thinking him as well.
Him and AJ Epineza, they're both good picks in my opinion.
I think AJ Epineza is the better player. So
I agree.
I would lean there for sure. They drafted what was his name? Like TJ Collier last year in the first round pick. And that was like a really surprising pick. I don't think Jadeveon Clowney comes back to that team. You got to go edge rusher here if you're the Seahawks. You're not really generating a lot of sacks. Do you know that Jaron Reed that I think he was like a standout maybe like 2 seasons ago? He's still on the open market.
Dang, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Seattle's going to bring him back just because they don't have that much money to afford him. But they're losing pass rush there. They're losing probably Clowney and Jaron Reed. So you got to go edge rusher here. And I think AJ Epineza is the best one on the board.
And this next pick, I'll go Yetur Grossman then.
Okay, yeah. I don't see a problem with that as well. They did get Calais Campbell, but he's also like 35.
Yeah, they got to be prepared for the future. Yeah, I like Yetur Grossman here at this pick.
Also, I think they're going to go wide receiver as well. But I think that's more of like a second-round pick for them.
Yeah.
And edge rusher is a more premium position. But I think they definitely go wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, in my opinion. If someone like CJ Hamler falls, you get that like really nice speed for them. I don't have T. Higgins falling because I have him getting picked in this mock draft. But if someone like him falls, you have like Brandon Ayuk, the guy from Arizona State. He's like one of my guys who I really like him. Someone like that, you can get good value in the second round, and you're not going to get a year 2 or more Gross Matos from Penn State down there in the second round. So just need and value, he's a better pick.
So 29, the Titans. Here I could see them going 2 picks here as well. I could see them going with AJ Terrell from Clemson. And I could see also them fitting the Jack Conklin departure. I could see them getting Joshua Jones from Houston.
What do you think about Christian Fulton and Jeff Gladney, though?
Christian Fulton, I never thought about that. The thing is, they're not even like that. Because you're saying, but are you assuming they don't bring back Logan Ryan?
I think they do bring him back eventually, sometime. Just because I think he hasn't really gotten that much attention that I was expecting him to get from the open market. And I think it's probably also because you can't perform physicals, and that's probably slowing up the entire process for him. I think he does go back, though, eventually. Who was your 2 picks?
Josh Jones and the corner from Clemson.
AJ Terrell, right? Yeah. Okay, I like both those picks. I think Josh Jones is probably the better pick just because you can replace, the player you lost in Jack Conklin.
Yep, I agree. I'm cool with that pick, Josh Jones.
And you have Derrick Henry. He's going into a contract year yet again after being franchise tagged. And the best thing for him is to have a stud, offensive line. So keep grounding and pounding the ball with him. Pick 30. We're almost done this thing. Pick 30, Green 30, Bay.
I can see them going 2 ways here as well. I could see them going for T. Higgins here, and I could also see them going Zach Bond, the linebacker from Wisconsin.
I think if you look at their depth chart behind Devontae Adams, it's all like Marquez Van Scouting and some like weird, like some bums like Equinemius St. Brown, like he's not that good.
Equinemius. Jake Kumaro.
Yeah, they don't have good depth there. I think T.
And they
Higgins.
lost Geronimo Allison too. So
I think T. Higgins can fit here. Someone like Jalen Rager, who
I was
don't.
thinking here also Laviska Chenault, dude.
Yeah, from Colorado.
He's also nice, but I'm high on T. Higgins, so that would be my choice.
I'm not that high on T. Higgins, but I think T. Higgins probably fits the bill that they want. So T. Higgins.
But yeah, my other pick, if it wasn't T. Higgins, like I said, Zach Bond, the linebacker from Wisconsin, hometown kid.
Yeah, the edge rusher, right? I think he's.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Zach Bond. Can you like fill me in with whatever you know?
I can try to. Yeah. So he's like the guy that can hold down the middle of the field. He's nice. I think he's like a top 5 linebacker. He's Let me do some more in-depth research with him. So he's an outside linebacker. He's also, from looking at it, he's a beast. Jeez, man, he's 6'3", 235. Goodness. I don't know. He had 19 and a half tackles for loss, 76 tackles, 12 and a half sacks, first team Big Ten.
Okay, so he's a good player then.
He's a good player too.
I don't think edge is a priority for them this offseason just because they spent so much. They got Preston Smith. They got Zadarius Smith. They drafted Rashawn Gary last offseason as well.
Yeah, I think – okay, yeah, I'm with T. Higgins here then.
Yeah, agreed. T. Higgins. That's a fun name. Here, for me, there's no contest. It's Christian Fulton or Jeff Gladney, one of the two.
Yeah, they need to go corner here. Yeah. Also, another one that's not bad. Did we picked Ross Blacklock already? No, we did not.
No, he's not. He's right here.
Not a bad pick because they lost DeForest Buckner and the other D. Yeah, they did lose DeForest Buckner.
Yep, they traded him to you, your Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, wherever you want to go here. I think Fulton's probably a better player than Blacklock. But Blacklock fits probably a bigger need.
But they did lose. They lost a big-time DT, though.
Yeah.
Big time. They still have Sherman, bro, at corner.
At corner 1. Corner 2 is kind of –
look at the corners that are available there. Gladney, Fulton. I'm not even going to pronounce Noah's name, but they have so many.
Yeah, I like Noah Igbenogany. Honestly, he's a steal in the second. Yeah, honestly, a team like the NFC Championship team, you don't have a lot of major holes to fill. And the fact is, you lost probably the most influential player on that defensive line in DeForest Buckner. You've kind of bought me. You've changed my mind. I think Ross Blacklock is probably the best pick here. So yeah. Let's go here. Last pick, they got to go a corner. Christian Fulton.
I have Fulton here. Fulton here works. Zach Bond here works. And Gladney works here. But I think Fulton's the best pick.
Yes, sir. Their corners are not that good, in all honesty.
Yep.
So
I agree.
You get that number 1.
It's not that good. But yeah.
Fulton's a pretty good man-on-man guy. So, yeah, I have no problems.
I had Fulton going a lot earlier. But, I mean, yeah, I think
just the way this draft went. Yeah, it didn't go that way.
Yeah.
But
so, yeah, I had.
Where do you think Fulton's best case scenario is?
That's a good question. Let me see here. I have the Saints. 24 is my best. At 24, replacing Patrick.
Yeah, I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah, that's my best. I think 24 to 32. Yeah.
I kind of like this mock draft. It's a bit balanced. We got some surprise players like Kenneth Murray going here to the Broncos.
Some people that I think that you could see going in the first round that's not here. I think
Jeff Gladney,
AJ Terrell?
AJ Terrell.
Zach Bond is a nice pick, dude. I like Zach Bond a lot. Jeff Gladney's a nice pick as well.
Mhm.
Laviska Shenault and Brandon Ayuk, I expect both to be gone in the second round. I'd be shocked
Oh
with that.
yeah, for sure. Those two are gone 100% in my opinion. Um,
And
someone
that,
else who I really, I mean, like I keep saying his name, I can't even pronounce it. Noah Igbenogany. I think if he had stayed one more season at Auburn, he'd be like a consensus first cornerback, like in the 2021 draft. And he's
yeah, I
coming out a
agree.
bit too early for me. But I think if you get him a good DB coach, he's going to be a stud. So honestly, if a team like a team that needs cornerback help, like the Vikings, for example, if they went with him, a team like even I could see him going to Jacksonville, like they could double dip in the cornerback pool if they get someone who falls in the second round. And I think they're gonna have lots of stud players falling just because there's gonna be, like we say, there's gonna be a run at wide receiver and a run at offensive tackle pretty early in this draft. And I think you're gonna get some stud wide receivers and corners who end up dropping because of it.
Yeah. I'm also interested to see where CJ Henderson goes, dude. So CJ Henderson, we have him going to Dallas, right? I think
Yep.
he can go as high as the Niners at 13. And if the Niners pick him at 13, they could wait late first round and maybe go after a guy like Chenault or Ayuk.
They could go after someone from TCU like Jalen Rager as well. They got some nice
So
options there.
going wide receiver late, also not a bad idea. It's like, do you value Ruggs that much higher than those guys that are available at 31? I can promise you those guys are going to be available at 31 too. There's no way.
Oh yeah,
I'd be
for
shocked.
sure.
I'd be shocked if Chenault got picked higher. Same with Ayuk. So, I
I think
mean,
Ruggs introduces some nice speed elements to the 49ers. I think their dream scenario, though, would be if someone like McKee Becton gets picked before. Like you get a run of, like, for example, let's just say we have an offensive tackle going to the Giants here. And then you have like a run of offensive linemen after that. Isaiah Simmons goes to maybe a team like Jacksonville, right? You could end up getting like one of the top two, CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, and that would be fun to see.
if they get Jerry Jeudy or they get CeeDee Lamb, they're stacked. They are stacked. My
Dude,
goodness. Oh
that would
my
be
God.
fun to watch. So
That'd
much
be
fun.
fun to watch. Except you'd have Jimmy G as your QB. But outside of that, yeah, that'd be fun to watch.
So yeah,
But
anything
I like
else you
this
gotta
mock
hit
draft.
on?
I like this mock draft a lot. I think we've had very little disagreements. I think we may have one. No, not even. Maybe. I mean, because here's the thing.
We had
My
a couple. I
couple.
I still think Jacksonville doesn't go here. I still think they go with a corner or like their dream pick would be either Derrick Brown or Isaiah Simmons falling to them. So I think offensive lineman's a better pick maybe at 20, but honestly, I don't really have a problem
I
with
still think you're crazy with Denzel Mims though. That's
it.
what I'm probably most. I think they'll go Jefferson at 21, not or Higgins. I'm surprised with Mims. I'll put it this way: would you be upset if they picked a wide receiver that's not Mims?
um, Depends on who's on the board. Like if like hypothetically, like someone like Henry Ruggs falls all the way down to
All
21.
right, he's not gonna fall to.
I think
He's not.
I wouldn't be shocked if Philly pulls a draft day trade, dude, and they move up and they draft a wide receiver. So just
Wide
watch
receiver,
that.
you're meaning they go for Judy
They go for
Ruggs.
one of the big three. Yeah.
You would not be shocked. The thing is, they
No.
need a wide receiver badly.
Yep. And fact is, I think Justin Jefferson fits something that they already have. Denzel Mims can be that like prototypical like X wide receiver. He's big. I think he's like 6'3". He's fast. He can run all the routes. I just think he fits that more prototypical wide receiver, which is why I'd go with him. But
All right, cool.
honestly, as long as they pick a wide receiver, period, who's not like Laviska Shenault, who I don't like at all, or like um, someone like Jalen Rager, like that high at 21, I wouldn't like. But any of the other guys, I'd be fine with. So
All right,
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
you got anything else to say?
No, just great to be back. That's all I gotta say.
Awesome, dude. Um, yeah. So Thanks for listening to this episode of the Fleaflicker NFL Show. I think it's like episode 12 or whatever. I don't know who's gonna listen to this, but it'll be fun to see who does. Thanks, share, do all that fun stuff. We're gonna try to do another podcast soon, just because I like talking to them all, and it's better talking to them all than doing a solo podcast. So yeah, thanks for listening, and peace out. Adios, boys. Thank you.